stamping friends. My name is Lorri Heiling, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm anxious to share with you some more crafty projects. But before we get started, I just wanted to let you know some news that I just discovered. As you know, I did the Sweet Conversations Valentine class to go recently, and I'm all done. Kits are mailed out, everything's hunky-dory. But as I was cutting them and bagging them up, I discovered, where is it here? I have one extra pack. I guess I have it off to the side, but I do have one extra kit. And so I wanted to offer that one more that's for sale. And so just a reminder, I'll show you the little graphic for you, class to go. And in this class, you get the Sweet Conversations stamp set, the Sweet Talk Designer Series paper. You also get iridescent rhinestone basic jewels. You'll get a full spool of real red 3/8" faux linen ribbon. You'll also get classic matte dots and a bonus celebration item of your choice. That's in the $50 range. And then also these 4 make and takes that I've cut ready to go. So I will ship those as soon as I get payment. And then you'll also get the PDF instructions on how to create all of those. And I do also want to show you, because this round I gave a sneak preview. So this is the little treat box that we're going to make. It's a really cute little gnome holding a heart on there and using many of the products. And then on the back, there's even nutrition facts, and it'll just have kind of a Valentine theme for, you know, it says amount for serving per one Valentine, imagination, 25%, laughter, 25%. So just a cute little graphic. And then you'll get, this will be on the PDF, and it'll even have like gray lines where you cut them out. So it's really simple to do. And then a lot of these I have cut out for you, but you'll also get the pattern for that little gnome so that you can make more. So for this one, if you want, just email me or get a hold of me, text me, however you want. Message me through Facebook, because it's not going to go through the constant contact, because that is already done. But like I said, I have one left, so I want to see if I can sell that. And first come, first serve. So whoever gets back to me first, I will get that in the mail to you right away. All right, thank you, and let's get started on today's project. Today's little project is going to feature a stamp set that I've had for a while, but I haven't done any videos or cards on this. So let me share with you, although I did use this for the incentive trip in Maui's, but I haven't used it since then. And this is called Peekaboo Farm. And I had this idea, oh gosh, do you guys ever go to bed and your brain tabs are not turned off and you're thinking of cards and ideas? Well, this one popped into my head before I fell asleep. So this is my, I guess, my nighttime dream card. But we are going to play with this, and this card is going to be fun because you can use it just kind of as a general card, or you may want to turn it into a Valentine. So I'll show you how you can do that. And it's just a cute little set that has all those little farm animals. And so let's start with the card base. So what I did was I took basic black cardstock, and this is 11 inches by 4 1/4. I already scored it in half on the long side at 5 1/2, and you can go ahead and fold that if you'd like right away, and just use your bone folder and crease that. Actually, it will help creasing right away, because we're going to do a couple cuts on here, and once it's folded you can see that score line even more. Now we're going to take your paper trimmer, and I hope I can do this based on the angle that I'm at. Maybe if I go down this way. Usually I put mine at the top and cut up there, but I think because this is close to me, I'm going to go down. Now, make sure before you do this part that you know which one is your scoring blade and which is your cutting blade. The scoring blade is the gray one. The cutting blade is the darker one. Do not mix those up, or you will be starting over if you use the wrong one. All right, what you do is you close the lid and, whoopsie, get the line back there. And then do you see there's like a little line on this? That's right where the blade is. So I'm going to aim that little line on the blade right in line with my score line there. And like I said, it might be tricky because of the angle that I'm at, but I'm going to see if I can get close. I think I'll go a little bit farther down than I think. That way, if I have to snip a little bit more, I can. But this way you can get a perfect cut and not, see, I need to go up a little bit more, but that's all right. Now we're going to flip it over because we want the exact same line here. So I'm going to put that line again right on the trimmer about where I think that score line is. Hold on, let me stick my head in here. I think it's about here. And then just pull down. And now we have 2 straight cuts here. But like I said, this normally when I'm standing above this, I can get it exactly, but I'm like 1 less than an 1/8 where I need to be. So I'm just going to snip up a little bit. Now we want to trim these little panels off at the top only to meet the line that you just cut. All right, get the other side. Okay, just like that. All right, now what I'm going to do is set this aside, and we're going to put some little side panels here. And remember from that, well, I don't know if I told you, from the Peekaboo Farm set, I'm going to use a little cow set. So let me grab first my background. Now the ink that we're going to use is StazOn. And I don't use StazOn a lot unless I'm watercoloring with our aqua painters, but for this one I'm going to be using StazOn because StazOn is a little bit darker than our Memento, and it just gives it a more of a licorice black color. Sometimes Memento looks a little bit lighter. I mean, it's still black, but this is just darker. I don't know how to describe it. And then I'm going to show you this little stamp that I kind of made on my own. I saw it somewhere online, but we do not have a stamp like this, but I'm trying to make it look a little bit like a cow pattern. But let me show you how I did this. I bought this stamp set, Butterfly Brilliance. I'm not saying you have to buy this stamp set just to get these little pieces, but I want to show you what it looks like. Inside this, you have to pop out all these little pieces here, and those are all the little pieces that I put in there. And then once in a while, I'll get another stamp that has those little pieces, and I'll just add them and put them aside. And then when I'm ready to build this, I just place them randomly. Now, I want you to notice that I left one little blank spot there, and that was on purpose because we are going to use a couple little pieces from Best Delivery. Now this one is also in the spring mini catalog, and I love this stamp set as well. But we're just going to grab that little heart because I want this to be a little bit Valentine-y. So, and I can't put this on here because this is rubber foam stamps and this is photopolymer, and this one doesn't stand as tall as that one. So I'm going to have to go back and stamp that little area with hearts. And then I'm also going to be using the sentiment, sending lots of love today and each day after. All right, so let's start stamping, and this little strip is 5.5 by 1.5, and I think I'm going to do it upside down, and it takes just a little bit to get this inked up well for the first time. Do you guys like the smell of StazOn ink? Oh my gosh, it smells like baking. It smells like almond. All right, and it'll take, see how nice and dark that is? We're going to stamp it a few times, so ink it up well, and you're going to want to turn your block and mix it up so you don't have a pattern that's the same all the time. So this time I'll go like this. And then the last time, can you see the little spots where the hearts are going to go? And the last time, just a fun little trick. I've also used this one on that one stamp set we have with the giraffe on with the knot in his neck. I can't remember that one, the name of it. But I've used it on that as well. And let's do one little stamp right here. Get the end of that. All right, that looks kind of cowish, doesn't it? All right, now what you're going to watch me do right away online is, because when you use StazOn, you want to get this ink off fast because this is like a permanent ink. And so you want to clean that. And we have StazOn cleaner. It's pretty dirty. I only use it for StazOn here, but clean that really well so it comes off right away. There you go. All right, now we are going to fill in the blanks with that little heart stamp I was telling you about. Again, we're going to use StazOn, but this one especially you need to clean off right away because it gets sticky on here, and it was not meant to stay on there for a long time. So just come back and make your little hearts in those areas that are blank. And even if you want to add a few more and just stick them off the edge a little bit, like say maybe part of the heart here and part of the heart here. There we go. We don't want it too full. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of StazOn on here because, again, like I said, we do not want StazOn staying on our stamps that long. And then I'm just going to wipe it off here. All right, there's a little StazOn lesson for you. Now I'm going to take my paper trimmer again since I have it here, and we are going to trim this in half on the short side, and in half would be at 3/4. So just stick this down and put it in between. There's a measuring on both sides here. Hopefully I'm still on the camera. And so just put that right in the middle and slice it in half. All right, now the next part we're going to do is assemble this on our card. And I'm going to use multi-purpose liquid glue. And this one is really nice for this type card because you can kind of move it around until you get it exactly where you want. So this is just going to fill that whole space in here. So just open your card and make two little tabs on the end. And then the other side. And this will bring the cow print into this little card. There we go. And voila, there's our own little DSP paper on the side. All right, now we just need to deal with the front of the card. Now what we're going to do is take the, let's do the Bouquet of Love embossing folder. And I know I've showed you this before, but let me show you how this works. The embossing folder comes with the dies. There's a few more dies that come with this, but the one we're going to use today is the heart. And I showed this on a previous video. You're going to have one side that has a channel that this fits in perfectly, and you want to set that in blade side up. And then this side is where it's going to, you know, meet up and cut. And then there's a really pretty floral around here. Then, because I don't really need to center this for anything, I'm just going to put it like this and shut the folder. And then you'll need the gray platform that goes on top, and then that will emboss it. Now, if this was one and you wanted it lined up, you just have to kind of shimmy it by holding it like this and get it centered so you want it. But for this one, it doesn't really matter, because just so the whole die is covered up, and then run it through. And then when it comes out with one crank of the wheel, it will come out. It'll be cut and embossed. So that's really a neat feature on this. It's called Bouquet of Love embossing folder. All right, we are going to put this on the front of the card right here, but there's a little bit more we have to do before we get to that point. So let me set that aside and get my scrap paper out, and we're going to do a little bit of stamping here. For this one, because we're not needing it to be that dark, and if you're going to use blends, the best ink to use is Memento Black, and so we'll just use that for the cow because we will be coloring part of him in. So what I want you to do is just stamp it, and then we'll color him in, like I said. And my favorite color when you're coloring in for black is actually light black. And the reason I choose this one is because you can kind of see through some of the lines, and I want to be able to see his eye here. So let me just go over all the colors I'm using. Oops, there's one more. There, you can see these are all very similar. This is light black. And then this is dark smoky slate, light smoky slate, light petal pink, and dark real red. All right, so let's start by making his little spots on him. So we'll just, and I think I'm going to choose to use the harder end of the blend. Now we are going to fussy cut, but there's a little trick to this, so you're going to have to bear with me while I cut this out. You see how I left maybe about an extra inch down here? What you're going to want to do is follow this hoof and then go up until you get to the top right corner of the hoof, and that's where you want to stop, right up there. And then we're just going to make like a little line down like this. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to cut the hoof, but this time until you get to the upper left side of the hoof. I'll move my scissors in a second. Right up to that point, you see right there, and then stop. And again, we're going to make just a line down like that. So in the end, it should look like that. But remember, we went up farther in there, and that is so that we can take that heart that we just cut out right here, and we want to place this little cow right behind there. Isn't that cute? Like he's holding it. Now, let's put some dimensionals on this. And I'm going to put one right where they meet so they stay together. And I think probably we only need maybe 3 more. One at the bottom too. All right, now let's put this on the front of our card, and then we're not quite done yet because we have to add a cute little sentiment that goes with this. I think I already told you which one. All right, let's just center him right here. Isn't that cute? All right, now we are going to add some eyeballs to him. And we have these classic matte dots that are in the mini catalog. And oh gosh, I did not think I was going to use these that much, but look at how many I've already used. And just take the smallest black one, and we're going to accentuate his eyes a little bit more. This one gets a little bit buried in that dark, so this will help. All right, now if you wanted this to be a Valentine, you could go ahead and write Happy Valentine's Day or one of the Valentine sentiments, but I'm going to use the one, like I said, from Best Delivery. So I already have it on the block here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Versamark and white embossing powder. So let me ink it up, and then I'll show you how I do this. So just go centered on the bottom again and ink that up. And then we're going to sprinkle white embossing powder on top, and then we will use a heat tool. Let me grab my embossing powder quick and just sprinkle that on. Always do it over another sheet so you can put it back in the jar easily. Whoops, I didn't get it up high enough. And then what I do is I flip it over and I just kind of flick it with my finger, and that looks pretty good. Actually, I haven't got it pretty straight there. All right, I'm going to run over and emboss it, and I will be right back, and then I'll show you the finished product here. Now, I want to show you one more thing. Did you know that you can take a blend and color in on top of embossed white powder? So I'm going to do that, but I'm only going to color in the word love, and just to tie in the red a little bit more down here. And just try to stay on the white, but if it goes on the black, it's okay, because black is black and it will hide it. So we're just gonna put a little accent on the word love there. And you know what? This might have to be my husband's Valentine card, because he has experience with cows. There, isn't that fun? Now I thought it needed a little bit more something to it. So I'm going to add a 3/8 inch faux linen ribbon, and already tied the bow. And then I'm just going to add a little glue dot behind here, and I'm just going to offset it a little bit. I like things not all symmetrical all the time, so I'm just going to put it over on this side, and it's okay if it goes over the heart, because remember the card extends beyond here. Add it right here. Oops, did my glue dot go? Yeah, it went on there. There we go. So there's our little Valentine, or just, thinking of you. And then for the inside measurement, I'm going to put one more little piece of white cardstock so you can write your note on it, or if you want to put another greeting, like maybe Happy Valentine's Day. And this is 5 1/4 by 2 1/2. I'll just use this because it's right here. And this is just basic white, and we'll put it right in the middle. And there we go. Yeah, I should have my Happy Valentine's. I think my husband will like this. All right, there we go. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little sweet card, and kind of a fun fold with just a couple extra slices. I promise you, if you do it assembly line, it goes faster, especially when you get the hang of where to stop when you do that. So play around, and you might want to try it on scrap paper first, but it's super easy. But isn't that fun? Thank you for joining me. I'm so glad that you came and visited my YouTube channel. Please subscribe, and that way you'll be notified when I'm online. Also, I want to remind you that if you order from me before February 10th, you will get in on the Creative You projects. And what I do is, for every order that's $35 or more, and you use this host code up here, that qualifies you for the Creative You projects. And each month there's 3 projects. I will send you for free the 3 projects that we made, and then the PDF will be emailed to you, and that's my way of saying thank you, and then you can assemble those in your own time. So thank you, and I hope you take part in this. And if you happen to order after the 10th of the month, then your order will just roll over to the next month. So even though it's January now, I'm all finished with my January Creative You projects, but it will go towards the February one. Thank you again, and we will see you next time. Remember, I do my videos on Tuesday and Friday mornings at 9 a.m. Arizona time. Thanks, guys. Take care and have a great week. Bye-bye.